I wanted to talk to you today about something I've been pretty quiet and private about. I've shared a little bit with the members, and I've mentioned many times we have mental illness in our family, addiction. I lost my sister to alcoholism, and mental illness has affected our family deeply. So, one of the things in the private readings that I have done over the years, and I'm talking hundreds of people, hundreds, possibly thousands of readings I have done, most people come to me because something is wrong in their life. Nobody comes to a tarot card reader. This is amazing. I've got money. I've got the job. I got the guy. What more can I get? Tell me, what more will I get? No. People come to me because my um the inheritance wasn't dillied out properly. What were my parents thinking? Will I ever get my lover back? But one of the saddest ones is, will my adult child, will my estranged child ever talk to me again? And I brace myself when I get these. And it's because it's touched me numerous times, actually, over the years. I know I'm not alone. And if this is something that touches your life or a loved one's life, please share this with them and to let them know they are not alone. I will be talking about child and adult children who abandon you, who don't talk to you, won't give any reason, or the reason is very fluffy, no communication. And you know what? If you're a child who doesn't talk to your parents, please don't leave a comment. I'm just going to delete it. This is for mothers who have a child who does not speak to them again. I'm not alone. There was a study and 9,000 mothers replied to it. So I've been keeping this secret, and one of the ways I work things out, well, I do auto writing, and truth be told, that's really how I started my auto writing. I had questions I had no answers to. Nobody would answer me, and the only person who could answer me refused to talk to me. So I started doing the auto writing through my therapy. My therapist suggested it, and that's with the right hand. You write out the question and you answer with the left hand. So that's actually where my auto writing started, truth be known. So this is going on to its third year, and this is the second time that she has done this to me. We were going through a difficult family time, and she decided to step away. It was too much for her. She decided to step away, not support me. Interesting, she supported her father, but she wouldn't support me. This time she's blanked both of us out of her life. So that's my secret. I have a daughter who stopped talking to me years ago. It's been a real burden to carry this secret. There are still family and friends who don't know. Whenever they ask, I just make a flippant, oh, you know how busy kids are these days. Oh, she lives in a different city. I'm sure she's doing fine. But it's a burden. I've kept this secret. And I know other mothers who are going through this because I've read their cards. They also are keeping this secret. And truth be told, this damn near killed me. One of the things of being a mother is you think, oh, no one can ever take that away from me. Well, guess what? They can, and they do. And no matter how hard you try, they can make you feel like shit. They can make it feel like your life isn't worth living. You're a total failure. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. This is why I've kept silent about it. It was more difficult to talk about. It was easier to swallow it and push it down and admit I was a failure as a mother than to tell anybody. And so I kept quiet. I mean, probably some family and friends are going to find out now. And that's okay. But I just really kept quiet. Really kept quiet. And it was a real battle. It almost felt like it was a, win-lose situation. She's winning because she's got the power. She's got the control of the situation. I had no control of the situation. No matter what I tried, no matter how many emails I sent, no matter what the tone of the email was, the evidence, I never got a reply. She was totally in control of this situation. And that was one of the hardest things for me to take, that I had no control over this situation. I was a victim of this situation. So people ask, what happened? What happened? Like, what was going on? Well, I always say the Knight of Swords is the attacking with words. I was attacked on the internet shortly after I started doing tarot readings. And I think it was 10,000. 10,000 subscribers. I did a video and I explained a lot about my history of how I got into tarot. I showed around my tarot parlor and I told a few things about my background. And it was shortly after that, a bunch of things exploded on the internet. I was being attacked with words. I had somebody who I thought was friendly because I'm so naive. We were like friends online and whatever, and should we, are you on Instagram? I went, oh yeah, I'm on Instagram, sure. Here, I'll add you. Because my name on Instagram is not Tarot Card Reader or even my real name. It's you'll never find me. Honestly, you'll never find me. And I showed her where my Instagram was. And she used my Instagram pictures against me. That's why you don't see my real face anymore. Ever since that day, there's not a fresh picture anywhere on the internet of me. If you do see a picture of me, like I used in my thumbnail early or anything before that, that picture is already on the internet. After that date, there are no pictures of me on the internet. And the way those pictures were used in horrific ways. And attacking me. Not attacking my daughter, not attacking my family. But what they did is, her name was mentioned. So was my son, so was my husband. They tried to get my husband fired from his job. I asked the kids at that, did they contact your employer? And they said no. They didn't know where my children worked. But they managed to find my husband and where he worked. Anyways, I was attacked. But here's the thing. I kept it all to myself at first. I didn't tell a soul. I didn't tell a soul. A few of you saw some of the attacks and questioned me. And a few of you actually thought that was really me in those posts and tweets because it was my picture. And I was like, how in the world could you think it was me? It was like horrific things. They put my face to things that were absolutely out of my character. Like horrific things. Like some of the language was like, I don't even use that language. That's not even Canadian language. It was actually a lady out of Chicago who I know exactly who it was. And there were some American terms in there that Canadians never use. For example, spelling. I actually had to call the police. I called the FBI. But I had many, many sleepless nights, and I felt all alone in the world. At first, my family didn't believe me. They did not believe me, that it wasn't me. I had to actually show my husband that you can make, that time it was Twitter. You can make a Twitter out of anybody's pictures. You can replicate anything. You can replicate a Facebook post. I wasn't even on Facebook. You can replicate anything you want and say this is real, and we can see this now. It's more prolific now, but back then. And I was accused by all kinds of things, having a double life. And anyways, I felt very alone in the world. That's what I mean by, like, this almost ruined me. I had to look at things from a different point of view. I felt stuck. I really felt stuck. I felt like I was alone. I was being hung out to dry. And I thought, how do I prove this isn't me? So that's when I called the police. I called the FBI. I put claims, harassment claims. I put all kinds of claims in. And the police believed me, and the FBI believed me. But this moment blew my family apart. Some stranger on the internet had that much control over my family, and it blew my family apart. I didn't see this coming. Are they a Meghan Markle fan? Yeah, they are. And my family kind of went apart for a little while. There was lots and lots of tears, and you guys didn't even know it. You had no idea what I was going through. None. It just broke my heart. And my daughter decided she couldn't take it anymore. And due to her mental health, I am never to contact her again. Even though I was the one being attacked. Even though I was the one with the sleepless nights. And then I got attacked again by somebody who I thought I could count on. But I knew I couldn't. She's done this to me before. When it got too much pressure or too much, she just goes silent. And she said, my mental health can't take this. Please don't ever contact me again. I want nothing to do with you ever again. Never told me why. Never said why. I've sent her all the police report showing I'm innocent. But she's the type of person, she could never admit she's wrong. Never. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. I would have to somehow admit I was wrong and that she was right to walk away for her to come back. But this is her. She's a Scorpio. This is her in her reverse, in her most negative Scorpio, judgment, stubborn. I'm sorry if you're a Scorpio. We all have shadow. I'm an Aries. We are stubborn. We're hot-headed. I'll fully admit that. We have temper tantrums, but we get over them. Apologize, move on, carry on, communicate. Let's go. No, she'll wallow in that for the rest of her life. I don't know what I did, or yeah, her name was mentioned. I have no control over that. What the lady did, and the only way I can figure out how she knew my children's names is I asked the police, and the police were the ones who told me, well, they just search obituaries. Once they have my name, they can search obituaries that I'm listed in, and now they have everybody's name. They have your husband's name, you have your children's name, they have your parents' names. That's how they get to your family, by an innocent obituary on the internet. So my children's name were mentioned once, both of them, full names. And that's what the police say. That's how they got it, because I never mentioned my children's name on my channel or to anybody outside. And she made me feel like the worst mother in the world. That I've done something wrong. And all I did was trust the wrong person, as if I'm not allowed to make a mistake in life, as if I have to be this perfect mother, the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, the perfection. And I wasn't this perfect mother because I made one mistake in life and I got attacked. Like, I still have PTSD from this story. And then, of course, my husband, he's a Scorpio as well. Here he is, King of Cups in reverse. He got under attack, and she doesn't want to talk to him either because he's supporting me. So he's done absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. But because he supports me, she doesn't talk to him. So we're both standing here like, what the hell did we do? So one of the things that we have done is, instead of crying over the past and getting into crying over spilt milk and getting into despondency and depression, which we both did. I mean, you've lost a child, but there's no funeral. And you don't know what you did wrong. Instead of doing that, we decided to walk away from all of it and discover what's missing. What's the missing part here? Because we were embarrassed. We were really embarrassed. We thought we were really good parents. We thought we raised really good people with a head on their shoulders. And we thought we were worth fighting for. We honestly did. We thought we were worth fighting for. We thought we were worth standing by during our darkest hour. We were really embarrassed to talk to other people and tell other people. And then we got defensive. And then we got really defensive. And that was almost the wrong part as well. Becoming really defensive and, like, you know, some of the things we said out loud about her, we are certainly not proud of. But that's part of the grieving process, is the anger. And, you know, we actually had to come to a point where we said, stop it. Let's just stop it. Right? Let's look at the truth of this situation and quit blaming her, quit blaming us. And then we actually even started looking at how can we legally protect ourselves. Like, what, we have no idea what she's telling other people about us. We've done nothing wrong. Like, we don't understand. You know, so do we shield our money from her? You know, what if she sues us? This is a real thing that's happening. Some children are suing their parents. What if she sues us? What if something happens to us and she ends up getting half our stuff? And for why? So then we started thinking about it logically, and we thought, we need to make a plan here. We need to make a plan how to deal with this, because I think at first you don't deal with it because you have hope. Oh, there's really no sense, you know, um, getting into therapy or, uh, you know, doing all these things because, one day that email is going to come through. Mom and Dad, I'd love to reconnect. And then what? Now you just have to undo all those things. The reconciliation is, you're always thinking the reconciliation. But then we realize we need to make a plan. We aren't getting any younger. And we decided we need to make a plan. And one of the things in that plan is we had to transform how we thought about all of this. We had to transform how we thought parenting would look like, how being a parent of an adult would look like. We had to transform what we thought our retirement years would look like. We had to transform everything. We had to transform how we thought about this. And one of the things we both thought of is that we were out of control, like this is out of our control. So one of the things we had to transform is getting control of this. And even though I'm crying through, I'm talking about this, that is actually transforming. Of course, no matter how much you think you have handled this, it's a situation that may and probably will bring tears to your eyes every time you talk about it. Even if this is going on in 10 years from now, I'll probably still cry about it. I've lost a child, but not to an accident, not to cancer, not to drugs, or maybe there is. I don't know. So even though, you're settled and you transform the situation so you no longer feel like a victim, but you garner control of your life, you will always cry about it. That's one of the things. Like, there's no such thing as closure. And there's just learning to cope with it. And time doesn't heal all. Time just teaches you how to cope with it in a different way. So anyways, we decided we are going to transform this situation and realize our family will never be the same. We simply do not have the dream. You work hard all your life, and Sunday dinners, kids come over, and they bring their children, and so we have to realize that's the death of the dream. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We can do something different. We can make a new dream. That's what's so cool about dreams. You can make a new one. You can have a second chance. You can come up with something completely different. You don't have to live in this loop. So what? This is just how life is now. So let's come up with a new dream. Our old dream was, the kids would be nearby and they'd bring their kids, and every Sunday we'd have a great big family dinner. Easter's, Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, backyard barbecues. Call the kids and support the kids and babysit the grandchildren and take them on trips. And, well, that's just not going to happen. So get over it. Find a new dream. So maybe now our dream is travel the world, sell the house, buy a travel trailer and a truck and just drive all over North America. Right? So that's where we are. We are in the process of coming up with a second dream. And it's bringing us a lot of peace. It really is. To let go of the past, to transform what has happened, to come up with a second dream, a dream that we are in control of, a dream that doesn't have anybody else in it except us. Because as soon as you add other people to your dream, if they don't comply to your dream, they can shatter your dream. But when you are in control of your dream, number one, it's easier to pivot. Number two, nobody else can shatter it, right? So I think that's a big mistake a lot of parents make. They include their children in their dream, in their long-term goals. And you know what? We can find peace in a new dream. We can definitely resurrect a dream that possibly we tucked away and never thought of because we thought we had it all, and come to real peace. And at the end of that road is lots of peace and a balance in life. And that will get our strength back and be in control. Be in control of, the strength card is she's closing the mouth, and that's the ego. That is, the strength card is also a lot to do with your thoughts, your words. And I can't get this quote out of my head by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. Thoughts are just another word for fate. Thoughts are just another word for fate. So during this transformation, I've been doing lots and lots of writing. As I said, that's how my auto writing started. And I've got like a diary full. And I've decided to share that. And so I started a Substack. And I only want to share it because I know there's other people out there who are going through what I went through, going through it right now. Like I said, they did a study and 9,000 mothers replied on estrangement. They did a study on adult-child estrangement. That's actually a pretty big army. And that's only the ones who applied or replied. So I started a newsletter on Substack on Substack called The Absent Hug. The Absent Hug. The one that you're waiting for that will never show up. And I've started to post some of my things on there. And so if you are interested, if that's something that has touched you, if you're still with me, it probably has touched you in some form or another. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of it. I will be posting things that I went through on my diary on there. And I'm not holding anything back. I'm not ashamed anymore. I'm not embarrassed anymore. One of the things that I have taken control of is the narrative. And part of that is she has told us both, and I've got it on text, my husband has it on email, that she is distancing herself from us because of her mental health. So that's what I tell people. Those are her words. That's her truth. I'm not embarrassing myself any longer. And that's one of the things I've taken control of because that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm not making that up in my head. I can always show people that can be proven in a court of law. And that's one of the things I've learned to deal with is facts in this situation, not where my mind wants to go, because my mind wants to go into some horrible dark corners. And so I tell people, she's having mental health issues without flinching. And if she doesn't like it, then she can correct me. But she has never told us why she's not talking to us. All she said was it was for her mental health. She has to distance herself from her family. So that's what I tell people, because that's a fact. And that can be proven in a court of law. And that's one way you get your strength back. That's one way you become, you come out of the shadows and you aren't embarrassed anymore, is you take control of the situation instead of being controlled by the situation. So the second thing I've been doing is, I thought, because I've been doing all these readings for these ladies who are in the same position I am, I thought, let's create a gathering place, a safe place. It has nothing to do with tarot at all. Will I bring in some magical things? Absolutely. But it's proven things, like thoughts and running movies in your mind and whatnot. A lot of you don't know, but I actually have my counseling diploma and I've had it for 30 years. And I originally used it in the funeral industry. So I have experience with grief. And plus I am a certified life coach. And I think that's why everyone enjoys my private readings, is because I bring a lot of that into the reading without saying so. So I'm going to start to build this gathering place for women. And on April 7th, I'm going to have my first gathering. It'll last about an hour. I'll just, we'll talk a little bit about, what brought us here. We'll talk about the shame. We'll talk about truth. We'll talk about facts. And we'll talk about how to transform your way out of this. Not closure. There's no closure. You don't want closure. Because what if there is reconciliation? And here you've done all this closure, and now you're dealing with this new thing. It's more how to bring control back into your life. More about how to feel like, don't allow anyone to take it away that you are a mother. And actually, if you go to the Substack, The Absent Hug, I'll put the links down below. You'll see the first comment I make is still your mother. There's no matter what my daughter does, no matter what she says, I'm still her mother. She can't change that. There's nothing that will change that. And that's what I'm getting control again. So if you want to join us, you're welcome to. It'll just be a Zoom call. You don't have to show your face or your name. If you want to, you can. If you want to contribute, you can. If you just want to listen, you can. It'll just be a gathering. And it'll be right after Easter. I was gonna do it before Easter, but I thought, you know what? After Easter, we all have those pangs. We don't need the support before Easter, it's after. And memories come flooding in. Perhaps we were coloring eggs, or different traditions that we had, or that empty seat at the table, or some relative said something. My favorite is when they all tell me that they've seen her and how well she's doing, and I just want to turn around and say, shut the fuck up. Don't care. Why did you just say that to me? Are you trying to hurt me? I really don't care. Keep your gossip to yourself. But I don't. And you probably don't either. You probably just smile and nod and get in the car and cry on the way home. So that's why I want to do it after Easter. So we're doing it on April 7th at 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So you'll have to figure all that out. But I think if you register for it, Zoom will tell you what time it is in your time zone. And I want us to get our strength back. I want us to stop the chatter. I want us to start to feel better about our lives. I want us to feel more in control. More in control. Because that's where the transformation is. That's the flip. That's the flip. Is now you're in control. You're in control of the narrative. whatever that takes. You know, maybe your son has married a narcissist and has taken him away from the family. Say it out loud. You get in control of it. Don't be the victim. Do not be the victim. And I'll teach you how to do that. I don't know if I can teach you everything within 60 minutes, but I'll try and give you the highlights and give you a good feeling of what these are going to look like. I'm just going to have a whiteboard, very casual. There'll be no tarot cards. I've learned from, there's some big names in this field, and I've studied them, and I've used their modalities and their techniques, and they work, and I want to teach you the same. All right, so the links will be down below. If you made it this far, thank you for listening, and I'm not going to be ashamed, and I'm not going to hide it any longer. And if she doesn't like it, she can just reply to my damn emails. Take good care. Hope to see you there. Bye for now.